The floating isles were once the foundation of the Singularity Array, where for centuries, progenitor Zelem collected specimens for quantum genesis experimentation. Zelem was the leader of opposition to experimentation with eDNA. He long forewarned that large-scale Darkspore outbreaks would put all galactic life in peril.
Howdo and welcome to a most epic video on Darkspore, a new game being created by Maxis and published by EA Games. I believe you should all know who these companies are, and if you don't, shame on you. You are obviously not a true gamer. And it's been brought to you by me, and me being Draz.
Obelisk
yes.
accessed.
Oh, well, how mighty fine that is. Obelisk. Anyway, as I said, this is a game in beta, and it will be released on, I can't remember if it's the 30th of March or the 1st of April. It's one of those, it's more or less the same time, so you can all have a look. It is basically a game that has been designed around the Spore Editor. If anyone's ever played Spore, you should at least know what Spore is. So they've used that dynamic editor, which was quite revolutionary for its time in the PC world, and turned it into a hack and slash Diablo come Torchlight type, much better than Titan Quest game. As you can see, you'll be running around with your little mobs, and you get 3 of them. If you pan to the right hand side of the screen on the bottom right, you'll see 3 different creatures. Each player has 3 different creatures, and they are activated by Q, W and E. As you can see, I'm with Barsky. This is the first mission, so we unfortunately have the same 3 guys, which is a little bit boring because there's not as much variety as I would have liked, but there's nothing we can do about it because that's what they've set and that's what everything will be. So at the moment I'm using Mr. Clawface there, and Parsky is using the Parsley Man as he throws out a healing parsley tree. If you look at the bottom of the screen, you'll notice that it's a typical health bar and mana bar with spells and abilities in between. You'll be well to notice that on the left hand side where the health bar is, there are 2. Well, actually there's 3, like on the right hand side, but one is just like an auto attack which will just flash up every time you click on someone, and the other 2 are your character specific abilities. Now these will change every single time you swap a character out. So every time you press Q, W or E, depending on which one you got out, they will change to that specific character. However, the 3 on the right hand side will be your group abilities, and there'll be 1 from each of those characters. So it kind of adds a bit of dynamicness to the game. I will be bringing this more in the future with different videos so I can actually show you what I'm talking about, but just trust me in that it brings the dynamic aspect to the game, especially when there's over 100 characters to choose from, which is fantastic. I can't remember actually, to be honest, if you can eventually make your own. I don't think you can. I think it's more on the aspect of you find abilities. What am I talking about? Talking shit now. Is that you find items while going around from such things, obelisks, and then you can put them onto your character. Now, one good thing, and I'll bring this also in another video, is the inventory. In there you'll be able to collect a load of different items. With these items, if you don't want them because they are complete and utter toss, like a lot of items are in these games and every other game, you can always turn it into a detail. And what this allows you to do is throw details onto your character to give them a more unique look without actually taking up an item slot. And I believe it stacks up to 6, so you can put 6 on top of each other. Whereas with your items in the editor, you can only put 1 on of each type, which I'll show you in the future. As you can see, we're just running around killing mobs. It's pretty standard. It's first level, so it's really easy, not a lot to complain about or worry about. These levels, as far as I'm aware, although there has been some controversy because some people have disputed the fact that it's not randomly generated, so they are the same all the time. However, from what I've seen from playing the different aspects of the beta and different time periods, is the mobs do change their locale. I believe that they stay the same in the types, but they change with their concentration and where they spawn within the map. So that's always quite good. I quite enjoyed playing while running around doing this because, you know, we all like a good hack and slash, and as Diablo may or may not be out at the end of the year, I feel it's a good game to get my teeth back into and have a run around on a path. And as there are over 100 different creatures you will be able to pick from and upgrade and do all that type of stuff, it should be good fun, and it should have some playability as well. And the PvP should be fun eventually when I get to it, which I'll show you obviously in the future. Yes, because I can't fit it all into one video. I just don't have the time really to make continuous videos over and over and over and over and over and fit it all into one. So that will be brought at a later date. You'll notice on the bottom below your health and mana bar, or energy bar, or power bar, whatever the hell you want to call it. Doesn't really make no odds, to be honest, does it? Is your white bar, which is your EXP bar, which will go up. On the left hand side you'll see next to your health bar that there are 9 boxes. 3 of them are unactivated and the other 6 are locked. They will be unlocked later on. But what you put in these are catalysts.
And releasing deadly cosmic rays affecting all nearby systems.
Well, I was a bit rude. Shouldn't be talking over me, woman. Anyway, as I was saying, you get catalysts, and what these allow you to do is gives you attributes, you know, buffs and stuff like that type of thing. Increases your damage, your health, and all that. What it does do though is if you get 3 of a certain kind in a row, you get a boost to all 3 of those in that row. So effectively you could have all red and get a mega boost, I assume. I've never managed to get enough to actually work it out, but it may be possible. Now let's get back onto the characters, and I've got Mr. Parsley, who shoots from range, as I've probably already mentioned. His first ability is a parsley tree, which heals people around the actual tree within a certain area. The more damage he does once the tree is up, the more healing you will get. So what you want to do is throw it down and pew pew like mad. I soon swap into something else, but just before I do, he's got a passive ability that allows him to have 2 pets out, which you would have seen running around there nibbling on the backsides of people. I failed to realise here that I can't do any damage to it, so I'm just going to keep hitting it anyway out of spite. But these are quite easy mobs to take out. The guy I've got now, I can't remember his name, but as you can see his first ability is to teleport to the nearest person and then stand there like a moron. Apparently. Maybe that was the ability that guy put on me. So I decided to swap back to Salad Fingers and do some pew pew. All of the characters themselves have a passive ability, so once they come into play, that ability will come into effect. You'll find as you go through the actual game, you are able to cast an ability on one of the characters and then swap onto another one to get benefit for that person. So you could put up his healing tree and then flip into someone else, beat the crap out of him with a really powerful high damage guy and get some nice healing done. One thing that is to note is that those vials that are dropping there, the blue and the green ones, obviously they're representative of mana and health. The really neat thing about them is that if you pick one up, it will do the same healing to the whole team, even the ones that aren't active. So if you've got some that have just had their faces melted, as long as they're not dead, they are going to heal, which is a wonderful aspect of the game and stops you having to keep microing them in and out and in and out and in and out. There goes the tree, parsley, do some healing. It's a nice magical tree of parsley, as you can see there. And I think that is pretty much the basics of the game. I will be getting into different aspects of missions within the levels themselves, what levels there are, how many there are. As I've said, the inventory, the editor, I'll go into PvP and all that cool stuff. So I'm not going to show the whole level because it would just take far too long. So until next time guys, I hope you enjoy it and subscribe and keep watching. Boop!